Welcome. We're back again. It's obviously for the Weighted to Win edition. It's Saturday. We're really looking forward to a double header of racing and a trip to the Western Cape. I think a lot of eyes will be on this meeting. Certainly looks to be a nice program, and the headliner being Comedy Ding a bit later on this afternoon. All right, so we're going to dive straight into it. Obviously, before I do give you all the breakdown and we introduce our guests, I just want to remind all the viewers out there that we'd love to engage with you on our various social media platforms. It's all about improving the product. And like I said, we're here to tip you winners. We're all here to work together, and hopefully we can build up into what looks to be a good festive season. All right, so having a look at the first race this afternoon, I see Black Egret is your favourite at about 16 to 10. I'm going to start with Darren Burrows on the line. Darren, great to have you back on the show. Obviously looks to be a nice program. This is your happy hunting ground. Are we going with Black Egret in the first?
Yes, and then touching on the weather's perfect in Cape Town all week, so the penetrometer is going to be perfect for racing. Black Egret, definitely the horse to beat. Brings high-fault form into the race. That form line behind Sian the Conqueror, we've seen multiple direct winners. That first time behind Mythical Dream, we saw her win 3 on the trot. So from a one draw, Black Egret probably going to race in a handy position, and he should just about win. Dangers would come from a horse like Falskun. Now, he made his debut last year, September, with Anton Marcus aboard, and he got touched off by his stable companion, Winchester Mansion. I don't know of his well-being.
All right, so it does look to be about Black Egrets. And on that note, a good afternoon to Daryl Marie. Daryl, great to have you back on the show. I know that you've been battling a little bit with your throat. If anything happens and you call for SOS, I have got a few tongue ties in my back pocket. But Black Egret in the first does look the horse they need to beat.
Yeah, I must be honest. I'm sure the connections have expected more from him. He's been slightly disappointing to date, but he's got the chance to set the record straight this time around. Another concern has to be that draw. In my opinion, the hard draws up the straight look favourable recently. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Correct. It does look to be, well, we'll have to play it out. I mean, we don't want to shoot or pull the trigger too early, but it does look to be that way.
Yes. Now, there's a comment in the front of the computer form with regards to Veldskoen. Have you got a pair of Veldskoenen?
With an Afrikaans girl.
There's a Christmas present coming up. Yeah, working well, expecting a good run. He's still an entire, and he's related to Winchester Mansion and Tchaikovsky. If the money comes from him, I have respect for him.
All right. Yeah, it does look to be one of those races where Black Egrets or anything, basically. Obviously, watch the money for the first timers as well and just watch them move down to the gates. All right, so what we're going to do is jump straight into selections. Let's see what we're doing. A trifecta boxed, 1, 3, 7 and 13. 1, 3, 7 and 13. And the spend is only 24 Rand. All right, so we move along. We go into the first leg of the Bipot, and I have no doubt that this pool's going to be a healthy one. The Bipot, I know there's a few players out there that enjoy this bet. Just having a look at the betting over here, 5 to 2, number 4, Lende. The 9, Sharapova. Eye-catching first performance. I see 4 to 1, number 10, Global Song Stress with some good form at 13 to 2, and at 7 to 1 and better bar those. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with Darren Burrows. Darren, open race. I think we need to pay a lot of respect to this horse, Sharapova. Very nice first performance.
I actually circled this filly when I opened the book. I thought she's quite decent. She debuted against Colts. We saw Solvent Theatre come out and run a very game second next time out. And we saw the third place runner come out to win very comfortably. The fact that Mike de Cox brought a maiden down to Cape Town, he must think quite a bit of her. So I think she's going to run well. Alende, obviously been costly to follow. But I thought she had the race won last time out, just didn't go past. Others to consider, Rafif's Choice. The drop back in trip's going to suit her, and on board for the trifectas.
Okay, so a good little race on paper. I think there's one or two that will learn a lot from this particular run. Let's get the inputs of Daryl Marie. Daryl, I think we both were on the phone to each other last time out when this horse ran, Sharapova. Lovely looking horse, and Shirley's got to come on in hope that she's travelled well.
Yes, That's the reason why I've banked Lende in my Bipot, because yeah, you've got a filly that's travelled for the first time. She's going around the left-hand bend for the first time, whereas Lende's got that home ground advantage. She's been there, she's done it, and I like the fact that they're coming back in trip with her, because last time out she looked like she had the race sewn up going through the 200. She was absolutely cruising, and she just didn't finish that race off. So 1400 at this stage of her career looks ideal. And I'll be shocked if she does miss the top two. But very much respect for Sharapova. She's got huge amounts of scope for improvement. She could really be anything. So I do expect them to fight it out.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be a race where they'll fight it out. Linda, and let's see how Sharapova moves down to the start. Beautiful looking horse. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections. It is the first leg of the Bipot. I see Daryl Marie's going to bank a number 4, Lende, by banker 6 in the second leg, by 2, 5 and 8 in the third leg, by 1, 2 and 4, by 5 and 11. And at the back, we're going to bank a number 7. And the spend's 18 Rand. And this race goes off at 1:15. All right, we're on to the first leg of the place accumulator. Looking forward to this PA paying some good money. I see the market has 3-1, number 6 Silver Links, number 7 Meta at 33-10, and at 7-2 about number 2 Academic Gold, and 11-2 and better bar those. We'll start with Darren Burrows again. Darren, what are we doing over here? Quite a trappy race on paper. 3-1, number 6 Silver Links. Is that the horse we're going to follow with no weight on the back?
Could be the horse to beat. She was very impressive in her maiden victory, but she didn't beat much. She's obviously got more to come. Others to consider: Virginia Sweet, a half-sister to Do It Again. Now, she's going to relish the step up to 1,800 meters, having a peak run. Rocky Reef from a Peter Muscat stable. She's not out of it, having a peak run, also up in trip. And then Meta, she's a rainbow. I found it a bit tricky.
It's definitely not an easy race. I think to survive the first leg of the PA, you'll do very well. Let's chat to Daryl Marie. Daryl, we need the help over here because I don't think it's straightforward.
Are you saying I'm in trouble by banking Silver Links?
You banked it.
Yes.
Well, I'll never argue with you. You're a genius. I still owe you a ticket overseas. So if you're telling me to bank,
I'm planning that very
I'm
soon. I am planning it. There are a few people currently overseas. We won't mention names, but I'd like to be there one day myself. So.
Don't worry, I promised you that trip, and we're already 5 credit cards in from punting, so we'll give you another one there.
Yeah. Brandon, go to the front of the computer form. Now, this is a middle stakes event, right? Have a look at the best weighted column. You got Silver Links, who's an unexposed filly, joint best weighted, with Academic Gold, who's very exposed in her place. So here's a lightly raced Silvano daughter who the progeny generally improve with racing and time. We certainly haven't seen the best of her. So with 52 kilograms to shoulder, I have taken my chances and banked her in the Bipot and the PA. There is a winner from that form line, Royal Invitation, won midweek. So last time I know she didn't win the strongest of events, but it's a special weights race. Those aren't the easiest to win, especially when you're giving weights away. And that was the case. So I think she's got a lot more to come.
All right, so I see Daryl Marie's going to bank a number 6 Silver Links in the first leg of the place accumulator. And I definitely won't be arguing with him. He's a genius at his trade. And if he's going to go banker, we follow. 2, 5 and 8 in the second leg, by 1, 2 and 4, by 5 and 11, by banker 7, by 3 and 11, by 1, 2, 5 and 7. And the spend is 144 Rand. 13.50 is when the starter will pull the lever. It's the pick 6. I have no doubt that this is going to be a very good pool. In fact, the pick 6s over the last few days have been half decent. And if it's going to set you up for the rest of the festive season, why not? Let's dive into it. I see the market has number 2, Queen of Sparta at 33-10. Number 5, Act Naturally is at 4-1. The 3, Zippy Over's gone 5-1. And it's 6-1 and better bar those. All right, so I'm going to start with Darren Burrows again on the line. Darren, again, we're going to need all the help we possibly can because it doesn't look to be a straightforward race.
Very tricky race. Go as many as possible. Queen of Sparta was a good winner last time out when stepped up in trip, jumped from a good draw. Zippy Over could be a runner dropping in trip. Then Act Naturally, lightly raced, also open to improvement. Fur Baby and Desert Rose. So I played wide.
It does look to be that sort of a way, and I'm going to go and chat to Daryl Marie because he put me in my place in the previous segment saying I'm bankering. You're making it open, but there's a banker. Have we got a banker yet, Daryl?
No, unfortunately not. But touch on my top 3 selections. Queen of Sparta. I thought she appreciated the step up in trip in her later start. Not a bad when considering how much weight she gave to the run-up. If you have a look, Brandon, I think she gave her 8 kilograms. So I thought that win is better than what it appears on paper. Then you got Act Naturally. Now, if you recall in her later start, she was absolutely cantering going through the 400. I thought she just came up for her in the latter stages and nearly got caught, but there's no doubt she's going to strip a fitter filly and she's on the upgrade. And then number 8 here, Desert Rose. Now, I like the fact that this filly's been rested because she hasn't really been living up to expectations. So I think the time off it could prove beneficial, and she'll certainly be, she'll love the long running of the Kenilworth Straight. So she likes to unwind. I hope she gets there in time.
All right, it does look to be open, and we're going to dive straight into those selections. Being the first leg of the pick 6, you can see they don't like the look of the first leg. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, and 11 for Darren Burrows in leg 1. Second leg, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 by 1, 5, 9, and 11 by Banker 7 by 3, 11, 12, and 13 by 1, 11, and 13. Spend is 3,072 Rand. It's the bet that can change your life, and that goes off at 14.25. Obviously, we're looking forward to the rest of the program, and hopefully we can slim this pick 6 up with 1 or 2 more bankers. I see they're bankering 7 in leg 4. So if you want to take a percentage thereof, I think it's going to cost you just over 300 Rand to take 10%. All right, so get on 14.25. That's over 1,400 meters. We're going to move along. It is jackpot time now in the Western Cape, and off to a marathon trip of 2,500 meters. I see 4-1, number 4, Navy Strength. 7, Salvatore Mundi's gone 9-2, and it's 5-1 and better bar those. All right, so we're going to go to Darren Burrows. Darren, you watch a lot of Cape racing. We're hoping that the speed's going to be okay over this sort of a trip. Baratheon, I want to get your input on this horse because I think if he gets to the front, could be one of those horses that'll be hard to peg back.
Well, Brandon, I wanted to lean towards the 4-year-olds in this race with only 52.5 kilos. Baratheon, now he'll probably go to the head of affairs or sit handy, but he did win on the winter course last time out. That was a short run-in. He got away. It's not going to be as easy on the summer course. A horse that caught my eye last time out was The Future is Bright. He absolutely cruised home with top weight that day. I think he's a young, progressive 4-year-old that is going to be a decent stayer in time to come. So from a 1-draw, Muzieni, 52.5, I thought The Future is Bright over Baratheon and then Navy Strength.
Yeah, I think the pace is going to be key over here. So we're going to go and chat to Daryl Marie about that. Daryl, do you see any pace in the race? I know that there's 1 or 2 that like to go off to the front, but do you think it's going to be one of those races stop-start throughout?
No, I don't foresee that. I think Baratheon will make it honest. But if you like his chances, Brandon, go back to the Pocket Power Stakes, where The Future is Bright beat him, and he's half a kilogram better off at the weights. So I'll give The Future is Bright a big chance over here. Navy Strength. Now, you recall his penultimate start. He was desperately unlucky. We watched that replay. He set the record straight last time out. He's only worn the tongue tie twice. Both starts, he's been very impressive. And yeah, you got an improving 4-year-old carrying only 52.5 kilograms. He's unexposed of this trip. He has to prove that he gets it. But if he does, I think he's one of the leading lights.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. Navy Strength, I know the guys labeled this horse last time out, and he really came through with flying colours. In fact, I think they were very generous at the off. I think they even drifted the horse back to 9-2, and the weighted to win team really labelled him last time out. So there you heard it. So it's quite an open race. I think we've got to go wide. Let's go and see what we're doing in terms of selections, being the first jackpot. 1, 2, and 4 in the first leg for Daryl Marie. So he's going 1, The Future is Bright, 2, Chrome Yellow, as well as number 4, Navy Strength. Second leg, 5 and 11, by Banker 7 in leg 3, and leg 4, 3, 11, and 12. And the spend's only 18 Rand. That's over 2,500 meters, and it goes off at 3:05. We're on to race number 6, and a highly competitive sprint. It is the Southern Cross Stakes. It's a grade 2 over 1,000 meters, and I see the market has number 5, Santa Maria, as their favourite at 9-2. Number 11, Whoa, is at 11-2. The 9, Princess Kala. Good to have Princess Kala back at the races at 13-2, and it's 7-1 and better bar those. All right, let's go and chat to Darren Burrows. Darren, good race. Santa Maria got some nice form. Great to have the likes of Princess Kala back, so highly competitive.
Competitive, but I narrowed it down to 4 runners. Now, Santa Maria, she comes in here, one of the best weighted. The 1,000 meters may be a bit on the sharp side. Whoa, may relish the 1,000 meters. She's got a lot of pace, having a peak run, but I'm leaning towards Princess Kala. Now, this filly's got a terrific turn of foot, from 12 to a mile. And I don't think this 1,000 meter, it might not be out of her reach. It might not be on the short side. I think she might just sit 2-3 lengths off the speed and just blow them away the final 200. So I'm just not sure of her well-being and how ready she is. But she's by far the classiest horse in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have Kala back at the races, and let's see how she goes back over this sort of a trip. Obviously, it's too short, and it's a prep for bigger and better things to come through the Cape Summer season. Daryl, what are we going to do over here? Obviously, the Southern Cross Stakes, always a good race to watch. Are we going with Santa Maria?
Yes, I do like her, Brendan. With regards to Princess Kala, there is a comment in the front of the computer form. She should need this, but there's no doubt she's got the class to come up trumps. So it'll be no surprise to see her pull it off. I like the look of Santa Maria. Now, on that laissez-faire run, she does come into this race best weighted, and she does hold the likes of Whoa, who she beat, and she's 2.5 kilograms better off. But Whoa, last time out, I was very impressed with her victory, and she's got that outside barrier, who at this stage, I believe, is the better draw up the straight. So I'm going to say the race lies between the 5 and the 11.
All right, yeah. I think don't completely write off this horse, Phaedra, as well. I know that many might think that I've lost my marbles, but Phaedra, a lovely horse. I've been following her back in Quebec. Very speedy horse. I think they'll go forward. And I know, just having a look at Daryl Marie through the corner of my eye, as I spoke about Phaedra, his eyes lit up. So, Daryl, is there anything you want to add?
Yes. Do you remember her first run in Quebec? When she won, Phaedra. Now, our colleague Darren Burrows had a horse in that very race. Do you recall? What was Darren? What was your horse's name?
Act of Thunder.
Act of Thunder.
That's
yes,
right.
Yeah. Now, couldn't he have gone on in the same manner as Phaedra has? I mean, he only finished a few lengths behind her on that occasion.
Jeez.
The
Daryl,
one-
you got. I promise you can recall anything, like a dictionary. You can tell you whatever you want to know, when it happened. Certainly a good man. So well done on Daryl. Phaedra's going to be one of those horses that I wouldn't completely write off. I know that many think that I've lost my marbles, but I'm going to include that. All right, let's see what we're doing in terms of selections. Jackpot 2, 1, 5, 9 and 11 in the first leg, by Banker 7, by 3, 11, 12 and 13, by 1, 2, 5, 7, 11 and 13, and the spend is only 96 Rand. Let's catch this jackpot a few times. It goes off at 15.40. So we're on to race number 7. All eyes will be glued to channel 240 for this particular race. It is the World Sports Betting Green Point Stakes. It's over 1,600 meters, and I'm just having a look. 11-10 now. about the people's champion, the people's favourite, Comet Ding, number 7. Gavin Larena gets the ride, and an eye-catching run last time out. So we're going to go up to Darren Burrows. Darren, eye-catching run last time out, Comet Ding, and Shirley's going to be a hard horse to beat you.
Very hard to beat. I actually made Jet Dark my best bet on the card, and then when Jet Dark came out, I thought Comedy Dung's the best bet on the card. There's not much that can take him on. He's had the comeback run. He was an unlucky loser. Another stride, he gets up to win. He's a quality horse, and he's back in Cape Town, and I think we'll see the best of him now. So Comedy Dung, for second, I don't have an outright second choice, but I think he'll win.
All right, so yeah, 11 to 10 in the markets about Comet Ding, and I think many will be bankering this one after an eye-catching run in a sprint last time out. Daryl, I know that we watched the race together, and I thought it was a cracking run.
Yeah, he flashed up in the Bantry Bay. Another stride and he probably gets up. Yeah, with that run under his belt, one expects him to win this event. I mean, it's now a more favourable trip. I know the mile isn't his optimum, but I think he ran second to Jet Dark in the Longmorn's Queen's Plate last year. So, yeah, he's apparently jumping out of his skin back home. They couldn't be happier. And I'm happy to bank him in all bets. I'm not saying go out and have a strike on him. I don't believe at 11 to 10 he represents much value, but I'll be disappointed if he's not victorious.
Second selection?
The field, same as Darren.
The field. The good old field for second for the team. But yeah, it does look to be all Comet Ding over here. And we'll be hoping that he can win for Ashwin Reynolds. All right, so there we go. Win. Comet Ding, number 7. Watch out for him. He's a 5-year-old bay, and certainly we're looking forward to his Cape Summer season. All right, so this race gets underway at 4:15, and it's over 1,600 meters. Okay, so this is probably the headline on the card, and we're looking forward to this particular race. This will be race number 8. I see 16 to 10, number 3, Ciao Bella, one of Darren Burrows' favourite horses. 12, Golden Hostess at 5 to 1. It's 9 to 1, and better bar those. All right, so let's go over to Darren Burrows. Darren, I know you labelled Ciao Bella last time out. Eye-catching grey, certainly quick and home best of all. What do you make of this horse in this sort of contest at 16 to 10? Are we having another strike?
I think she's a big runner, but there are dangers, Brandon. Last time out, she got up to win a good race. I think she'll be better suited to the Standside track. I mean, the summer course. And she's got the draw in her favour, so she can place herself in the perfect position from a 3 draw. Dangers would come from horses like Golden Hostess. Had absolutely nowhere to go last time out. I think she would have finished right alongside Ciao Bella had things gone her way. But she also has a deep draw to contend with. Time for Orchids ran in between them. She also made up a lot of ground. And then Make It Snappy. Super impressive, and she's got a bright future.
That's a cracking race. I don't know if I'll be diving in 16 to 10. I think there's a bit of value elsewhere, but obviously a very good horse is Ciao Bella. Let's see what Daryl Marie likes over here. Daryl, I know that chatting off there, you liked a bit of Make It Snappy. We both watched that rerun last time out of the second favourite, Golden Hostess, and also a bit unlucky.
Yes, touching on Make It Snappy. Now, this Dynasty filly could really be anything. I know she was in receipt of a lot of weight in her later start, but she took on the likes of Shanzane, Marina, and she put them to bed comfortably, extending at the finish. I'm sure from a wide draw, she's going to push forward, be put into the race, and I'll give her a chance.
Yeah, look, it does look to be a race where I think there's also a bit of, I mean, what do you make of the horse Peach Daiquiri? I know that obviously coming from Quebec, you're probably thinking that I'm being biased, but you've got to respect this horse Peach Daiquiri, because I've spoken to Glenn, rather not Glenn, but having a look at Sharon Kotson's filly, speaking to obviously Gregory Kotson, he told me that they think the world of this horse, and the fact that she was winning over sprints. Watch when she goes the mile plus. You're going to see a proper horse. So, do you make room for her?
She's not in my top 5, Brandon, but I'd love to see her do well. I mean, she's knows that she's going to Cape Town to take on the big girls over here, the big guns, and she's highly regarded. So let's hope she's able to feature. touching on your pick of year, Golden Hostess, do you know that she's been fitted with blinkers?
I believe so. That news and update was done, but big runner.
So I'm a little bit concerned now because I don't know what their tactics are going to be with the set of blinkers. I thought from a wide draw, they'd opt to slot her in once again, the same as what they did last time out. But I'm hoping with the blinkers, if they do give her a chance, she settles. Because if she over races, she could be in trouble.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Overall, if you can, go onto 4racing.tv and go and watch the replay. You'll see what happens to Golden Hostess. But please don't leave Peach Daiquiri out. Like I said, I spoke to Greg, and certainly they are expecting a big run. 3, 11, 12 and 13. That's the exacta boxed. 12 rands the spend. It's going to be a cracking race. It's the World Sports Betting Cape Fillies Guineas, and it's run over 1,600 meters, and it goes off at 1650. Okay, so we're on to the last race, and they've left a real tough race to end off proceedings. I think there's value all round. I'm just having a look at the markets over here, and the 9th race, 5-1 number 13 Double Dream, 11 Veronique's at 11-2, 13-2 and better bar those. Darren, can you help us with a strike in the last? Hopefully by this time of the day we're up a few rand. Can we go and invest on anything in particular here?
Well, Brandon, I saw value with Double Dream. I know she's top of the boards at 5-1, but she's not a bad filly this. She won first time out. I think Sean Veal rode her that day. She came to Cape Town. She's had the 3 comeback runs, but her last run was an encouraging run behind Chantastic. She did have Veronique, I think a length in front of her. So there's nothing separating numbers 11 and 13. But I just feel Double Dream's going to love this the summer course, long run-in. I'm just hoping she gets in from the draw and she could win a race of this nature.
Okay, so that's the selection of Darren Burrows. Daryl, what about this horse Veronique? Been ultra consistent, the 4-year-old Bay filly. JP van der Merwe certainly gets a tune out of Veronique.
Yeah, I must admit she's in cracking form, but she's fairly exposed. Wouldn't be a shock to see her win. Doesn't form part of my top 3 selections though. Philosophize, Brandon. Yeah, you got a filly that's ratings come down from an 83 to a 74. I think the 1400 at this stage could prove ideal, and she's got Gavin Lorena from a neat draw. I think she should be thereabouts. If you like her chances, have a look at number 7, Beneath the Moon. There wasn't much separating them last time out. She was overdoing it with the blinkers. They've now been removed. I think she could feature.
Okay, so very open race. Certainly not the race that you want to rush off and put the rent money. So we're going to dive into selections. Let's see what we're doing when it comes to the lucky last. I see Darren Burrows going 111.13, and it's a swinger boxed. 3 rand will be the spend. So 3 rand, you can take it a few times. Swinger boxed 111 and 13. Race gets underway at 17.25, and it's over 1,400 meters.